Let's talk about where we go from here with Joe Biden and his crack pottery. MSNBC's Eugene Robinson describes Biden's speech as urgent wartime address as network keeps evoking civil war. Shut up, Fox News. Network keeps evoking civil war. Civil war is trending constantly over the past several months. MSNBC's Tiffany Cross has claimed it feels like the civil war is here. In fact, she said more than that. They have a video clip here. Let me see if I believe this is the one. Maybe it will play. Maybe it won't. All right, let's.
Every time.
Well, because we were listening to music before
we have
the show.
listen parties before every show.
There is no let's deal with the rhetoric. At this point, I do think we have to have serious conversations around preparing for actual violence. People keep saying a civil war is coming. I would say a civil war is here. And I don't mean to be hyperbolic. We can look at what has happened just in the past week alone. Since all this has happened, we've had 2 people try to declare war with FBI field offices. I don't think at this point we're going to all pack up our bags and go home and sing Kumbaya.
She's right.
Yep.
She's 100% right. It doesn't matter what side you're on or who you think is factually correct or morally correct. What matters is that there were people going to FBI field offices. One guy tried to break through. And I said, yeah, people are getting violent. You know, these things are happening. And even it was Eric Weinstein. What is this?
Autoplay video. Boo.
Oh. Eric Weinstein said he doesn't see a path out of this. And I'm like, you know, with like that's great. I've been saying that for a while. And I don't mean that as like a dig at him. I'm like, even he's now saying, you know, even Joe Rogan is saying, I think Tim was right, a civil war is coming. Even Eric is saying, I don't see a path out of this. I said that a year ago.
I mean, violent crime has been on the rise for the last 2 years. I think, I have to look at the numbers again, but I think it coincided before the pandemic, was exacerbated by the pandemic. We obviously saw the summer of 2020, which was marked by violent riots. You know, it's hard to say whether the civil war is coming or we've been slowly drifting into it for some time. I think people expect there to be like a referee whistle and for it to be like, and we've begun. And that's never in history ever been the case.
Even Fort Sumter, they didn't know if that was the start of a civil war or not. They were shooting at each other like, well, you know, this could be nothing. We don't know. And people can't see the forest for the trees.
Yeah. I'm looking at this quote from Joe Biden last night. We can't allow violence to be normalized in this country, but violence has been increasingly normalized in this country for so long. I mean,
by him.
Yeah, and how many times do we have to see like random person stabs elderly woman on the streets of New York before we see that violence is happening on so many levels of our society in a way that we're not used to?
Can we get a Joe Biden clip where he's standing in front of the red, you know, shaking his fists? And then we just have like one of these lefties going, are we the baddies? Yes, you are. It's you cheering on law enforcement and governmental expansion and violence against regular people. You know, I want to give a shout out to these left commentators, the social commentators who are cheering on Joe Biden right now, who cheer on Antifa. Because when Antifa went and smashed the windows of the working class throughout a bunch of cities in this country, they cheered for that. That makes you the bad guys. Like, you know, if you want to talk about evoking history or invoking history, then Kristallnacht, sure. You are the guys who went around smashing up everyone's windows. And guess what? You did it in black neighborhoods. There's viral videos of people in black neighborhoods begging Antifa to stop destroying their homes. But whatever, you didn't care, did you? So you know what? When these people tweet, like Ben Shapiro tweeted, you know, Biden's gone crazy, and then I see Hassan and Vosh, and they're like seethe and laughing about it. It's like, yes, you guys, they're evil. They don't care that Antifa went and destroyed the lives of working class people. They're in favor of the elites and the system. I mean, Hassan bought himself a multi-million-dollar house while claiming to be a socialist. Bravo, good sir. That's the grift. That's the racket. You've done it very well.
So when the lockdown started, I want to give some context to this. When the lockdown started, the first thing that my wife and I did was go to Home Depot and buy plywood to board up the front windows on our Capitol Hill home, because I had no idea what was going to happen. But my theory was that if you lock people up and you tell them that they can't go to work and you tell them dictating every aspect of their life, things are going to get violent. And that's precisely what happened. Maybe it was orchestrated, but I think another theory about what Biden is trying to accomplish, and I think this MSNBC clip proves that, is that they want someone to take the bait. They want to be able to point to some MAGA guy that goes too far and gets violent so that their narrative completes, right?
Yes.
See, I told you they were going to get violent. So another way to think about that speech is, let's goad them into doing something stupid.
Yes.
And then that's our narrative for the election.